Then it says of. Go back to Algebra 1. What does of mean in a word problem? Times the area of the whole thing, right? Or the total area of the whole picture. So I'll put area of the total, or the total area. Okay? This is what the sentence tells us. The area of the picture itself is 1/3 of the total area of the picture and the frame. Now let's get more specific, because we don't know what the area is specifically, but we do know what the dimensions are of the picture itself and of the whole thing put together. How do you find the area of the picture itself if the dimensions are S and S? S times S, right? The area of a square is side squared, and those two sides are S and S. All right, now I have 1/3. How am I going to find the area of the total picture frame? S plus 4 squared, because that side dimension is S plus 4 times S plus 4, correct? And now you have algebra. From this point, it's called work it out. Okay? What should I do first? Can anybody tell me? James. Square S plus 4. I've got to square S plus 4. So I'm not worried about this S squared yet. I'm not worried about 1/3 yet. I want to know what is in these parentheses. Well, S plus 4 times S plus 4 is a FOIL problem, right? Where S times S gives me S squared. 4S plus 4S gives me 8S. And 4 times 4 is 16. Lamar, look at the board, not the window. Okay. Now from this point, I'm going to show you something. This is a complete term being multiplied by 1/3. I can undo that by multiplying the whole side by 3. Because 3 times 1/3 becomes what? 1. And then all you have is this stuff left. But if I multiply the right-hand side by 3, what do I need to do over here? Multiply it by 3. Okay, so I'm going to end up with 3s squared is equal to s squared plus blah, blah, blah. Here we go. And now we have a quadratic equation because there's s squared. And we solve this how? Okay, we're going to set the whole thing equal to 0 and first see if we can factor. And if we can't factor, then we can complete the square. So let's set the whole thing equal to 0, remembering that we want our s squared term to remain positive. So should I subtract 3s from both sides, 3s squared, or should I bring everything else to the right? Bring everything else to the right. Okay, so this is when I subtract 1s squared here, I get 2s squared. I subtract 8s, and I subtract 16 to get 0. Now, here's our little test if we can factor. 2 times 16 is 32. Are there factors of 32 that subtract to give me 8? What? But they're not. There aren't. Okay? Seems like there would be, but they're not.
How do you get 2?
I'm bringing everything over here. Okay, so when I subtract 1s squared to make this 0, I subtract 1s squared from here. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Is that the 2 you were asking about? Okay. You got the rest of it? Okay. Yeah.
How did you get the 8?
In our heads, we should be at the point where we don't have to write this out and do the whole FOIL process. First times first was s squared plus 4s plus 16 gives you 8s. Okay? All right, we cannot factor, so we're going to complete the square, which means we've got to divide everything by 2, get the 16 on the other side. Gives me s squared minus 4s plus something squared equals positive 8 plus something squared.
You can't factor that?
No. If I pull a 2 out, I still won't be able to factor it. Because there's no factors of 8 that subtract to give me 4. It's not factorable. Okay? What goes in parentheses, Luke? Quickly. 2. Alright, so I've got s minus 2. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hurry. Squared equals 8 plus 4 is 12. Take the square root of both sides. S minus 2 is equal to plus or minus 2 square roots of 3. Add 2 to both sides. Now you were asked to give an actual measurement, which means you have to plug that into your calculator. And it was going to either be positive 5.5 or negative 5.5. Positive 5.5. So it was 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And that's how you got it. Tonight you will be practicing these skills. This is your homework. Be prepared for a quiz on this tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn the quadratic equation. And we are testing Thursday.
Wait, we're learning what tomorrow?
Quadratic equation.
I know what we're doing.
Quadratic formula. Sorry. Formula. Sorry.
Miss Allen.